Hi there, it's Julie Broad with Revenue.com here, and we just wrapped up an awesome session of open phones with our 12 months to 1 million members. It was 4 hours of pretty intense work for Dave. I admit that I didn't really help him that much. If I can avoid being on the phone, I do, and thankfully Dave loves talking on the phone, so it makes us a great team. But I was around for most of the calls, and while some people had some really specific questions like, what are the disadvantages of buying a condo? Or, these are the numbers on a duplex I'm looking at buying. What should I ask the seller? And the caller who wasn't quite sure about the ways to come up with a down payment when all her friends and family have said they don't have money. But most of the questions boiled down to a really general but important thing. But let me back up first. One of our callers has sat down and created her 5-year plan. And that is fantastic. Listen, if there's one thing that just about every person I've ever met that is super successful does, it's planning and goal setting. So it's a huge step, and it's a huge thing. But where she was getting stuck, and where a few others that we spoke with were getting stuck, was on the itty-bitty details of achieving that 5-year goal. Let me take the specific example of our caller. She wants to have $1 million in equity in 5 years. It's a totally achievable goal. We know because we were pretty close to doing it, even with totally messing up on several properties we purchased early on. And other people have done even better than $1 million in 5 years. So we're not at all challenging the realism of her goal. But what we're challenging is the fact that now she's hung up on a whole bunch of obstacles because she's trying to figure out how to get there when she hasn't even done her first deal yet. Let me try and explain this with a good old-fashioned hockey analogy. Let's pretend I'm a little boy in rural Alberta with the dream of becoming an NHL player. Specifically, I want to play for the Calgary Flames. I know that in 5 years I need to be playing in junior hockey to be on track for the NHL. My next step is not to run out and start asking junior hockey coaches if they'll take me on their team. My next step is to find a pair of skates that fit me and put them on. Then I have to get out on the ice and figure out how to skate. I know that my goal in the shorter term is junior hockey, and my long-term goal is eventually the NHL. But that's not what I'm worried about right now. Right now I'm worried about getting on the ice and learning to skate. And then I'm going to worry about making it on the team for the Calgary Flames. So to our member who wants to be worth $1 million in 5 years, and who is worrying about finding 12 partners to do 12 different deals with, Dave's advice was simple. Don't worry about that stuff right now. Go out and find one good deal, and then find a partner to do that deal with you. Keep it simple, specific, and focused. Who knows? He might not even like real estate, I heard him telling her. He also suggested that someone who has not done any deals yet stick to the basics. Find a good old-fashioned buy and hold or rent-to-own property deal to do. That will help you learn the fundamentals. When you're learning to play hockey, you're going to learn to skate first, and then you'll start learning puck handling skills and backwards skating and stopping quickly. But those are all advanced skills, and while you can learn them first, it's just so much easier to progress to learning to them. So I encourage you to sit down and figure out where you're going. You really need to know where you're going so you can know what your next step needs to be. But you don't have to figure out all of the little itty-bitty details. It's like if you're driving from Toronto, Canada to Jacksonville, Florida. You know the general direction you're heading, and as you're leaving Toronto, you know you want to head towards the US border. But your exact route isn't exactly known. You'll probably take some unexpected stops. You may even get lost a few times. But if you don't at least start out knowing where you're going, you might end up in Calgary or even Alaska, which is totally not where you wanted to go in the first place. So have a plan, and then as soon as you have that plan, get focused on the first thing you have to do. And for almost everyone that is a real estate investor, that first thing is on finding your first, or perhaps your next, good deal. Pull everything together for that deal, then move on to your next. You'll learn as you go, and not everything will go smoothly, but you'll be heading towards your ultimate destination, whether that's Florida, the NHL, or $1 million in equity in 5 years. And of course, We'd love to help you along the way, and we really like to hear from you. So let us know what your biggest real estate investing question is. And if you need some extra support, we would love to have you in our 12 months to 1 million program. So we invite you to check that out and join it. We always have lots of coaching calls, plenty of videos, teleseminars with experts, reports and resources to share with our members. Plus, we try to have a little fun along the way. So if you want to learn more about that, you can head on over to revenue.com/freecd.html.